Welcome back to LarryB YouTube channel. In today's class, we're going to learn how to make this beautiful bubu. It's like a cow bubu top. You can see how it looks like. It has like small cow effects at the back. I'm going to take you through how to cut and sew this in this class. If this is something you like to learn, kindly stay tuned to the end of this tutorial. Thank you. For this, I'm going to show you the measurements you are going to need, and I'm going to be working with this miniature mannequin. I'm working with this miniature because I want us to be able to see everything that I am doing very well. If I use a life size, it's going to be really big because there is a slash and spread involved, and I want us to be able to see everything. So as I'm measuring it, I'm going to be supplying a regular measurement along with it, so that if you're making it for a regular size, it will assist you to know how to adjust your measurement. So the first measurement you're going to need is your should from your center back here, from the center of your back. You're going to place your tape measure and then measure to where you want your sleeve to be. Okay, so for this miniature, I think I'm going to be working with 13. So if you want to work with 13 inches, remember it's a puff sleeve, and that should be around here for you, your wrist area. Remember it's a puff sleeve, so you can add maybe 2 inches or 3 inches to it, so that by the time you hand the band, it's going to be puffy and then probably fall on the band. It's totally up to you and how you want it. So just take that measurement. If you cannot take measurement from here, you can take your center back measurement, divide by 2, then you add your sleeve length measurement. It's still the same thing. So you can just take your center back here and then add your sleeve length. So once you have that measurement, the next measurement you're going to need is your blouse length measurement. So from your shoulder here, you mark where your blouse length should be. So that should be around your hip area or wherever it is you want this blouse to be. So these are the important measurements. All other measurements, I'm going to be supplying it as we'll move along in the tutorial. Okay, so now this is the paper that I'm using for drafting. After drafting on paper, we're going to move to our fabric. So just like I explained, the first measurement I'm going to be marking here is my shoulder plus sleeve. Remember, in my case, I'm working with 13 inches, so I'm going to connect that. But if you're working with a regular size, your shoulder measurement plus your sleeve length. So once you have that, you're going to mark your your neck width measurement. For a life size, remember we do maybe 3 inches by 3 inches for front, 3 inches by 1 inch for back. But for this, I'm going to be doing 2 inches by 2 inches for front, and then for the back I'm going to do 2 inches by 1 inch. I'm going to be cutting the back separately because I don't want it to have a shoulder seam. So I'm going to connect it. I'm going to take my curved ruler now and connect my neck measurement. So here, if you want to have a shoulder slope, you can come here and mark 1 inch for your shoulder slope. Okay, but if not, I really don't need a shoulder slope because, like I said, it's not like it's fitted, it's like a bubu top. So I'm not going to be using a shoulder slope for mine. So the next measurement that I'm going to be working with is my sleeve opening. It's going to be like a kimono. So now you're going to mark whatever sleeve opening you want to work with. So it's not going to be your regular round sleeve. Okay, it's going to be big. I'm just trying to get the perfect opening that I can use for this miniature. So I'm going to be doing like 5 inches, but for a life size you can use your bust point measurement for your sleeve opening. So from your shoulder here now, you're going to mark that. So let's say I'm using 6 inches for this. Okay, I'm going to mark the 6 inches like that, and I'm going to make it into a straight line. But for a life size, like I said, you can use your bust point measurement for it, or you can use anything from 10 to 13 inches is fine for your sleeve opening. So on this point now, I'm going to mark my bust divided by 4. So the bust I'm working with here is 18. 18 divided by 4 is going to give me 4.5. So here I'm going to mark 4.5, and then you had allowance. Remember, it's a bubu, so you need it to be as free as possible. So for this, I'm going to be adding an allowance of 2.5 inches, but for yours you can add allowance as much as 5-6 inches depending on how free you want that area to be. I hope you understand that. Okay, so now next thing I'm going to mark is my full blouse length measurement. So I want my blouse length to be around 13 inches. Okay, that's for me, but for your regular measurement, you should maybe around your hip area is okay for your blouse length. So just like we measure this on our mannequin, from your shoulder here, you mark where you want it to be. So for me, around 13 inches is fine for me. So here I'm going to go ahead and mark out 13 inches, which is going to be the length of my blouse, and then I'm going to make that into a straight line. So for the width, I'm just going to use what I used on my bust, okay, which altogether is 7 inches. I'm going to mark the 7 inches, and then I'll make that into a straight line. If you want it to be bigger on your bust here, remember we did bust divided by 4 plus extra. You can do your hip divided by 4 plus extra. It's totally up to you. So again, so that I can have a straight line for the sleeve, here I have 13. I'm going to mark 13 inches where my sleeve opening stop as well, and then I'm going to mark that into a straight line. Okay, so the next thing now is to find a way to curve this into each other so that it can form like sort of a cowl neck, a cowl side there. So I'm going to take the curved side of my ruler, and then I'm going to curve it into the side seam. So if you have a better ruler, please make use of it. This is what I have for now. So I want the hem of the blouse to be a bit penciled. So here I'm just going to come in by around 1 inch, and then I'm going to take this curved ruler and then connect everything into each other like this. Okay, okay, so that is my connection. So now the last thing to do now is to create the opening that you want, that you have in front. So depending on how open you want the front to be, so you come to the front here on the hem of the front, and then you come in by between 2 to 3 inches depending on how open you want it to be, and then from your shoulder again, you mark where it's going to stop. Okay, you need to mark that on your body, and then you take your curved ruler again, and then you connect like this. Okay, so that is all I need to do for now. I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. So like I said, the front and back is similar. The only difference is going to be in the neckline. So for the front, for the back, I'm going to be using 2 inches by 0.75. Okay, so if you are doing for a regular size, you can use 3 inches by 1 inch for the back. I folded my paper into two so that I can cut front and back together. So the type of opening you do at the back is up to you as well. You can maintain what you have in front, just like I did here, and you can decide to do a totally different type of opening for your back. So it is up to you and the design you are going for. So here I'm going to cut the shoulder as well. Just trying to make sure that nothing is shaking. So this is what I have. So the only thing is the difference in neckline. So for the back, I'm going to just create this neckline. But before you take out your neckline, because of your collar, you need to mark what you have on your round neck for both front and back. So for the back, I have 2 inches. So I'm going to start from the 2 inches and connect for the front. So I have altogether around 5.25. So multiply by 2 is going to give you your full neckline. So you can write that somewhere. Okay, 5.25, that's what you're going to use to create your collar. So now the next thing is to go ahead and introduce more volume to this, and we are going to be using the slash and spread method. So I'm going to go ahead and create my slash lines now. You can create as much slash lines as you want, but I'm just going to eyeball this and then just mark it. Okay, so I'm going to be creating like 5 different slash lines, and I'm going to be doing the same thing for the back as well, so you can see the lines that I am creating. So I'm just trying to make sure that it is evenly distributed as much as possible. So this is the front, and I'm going to also take out the neck depth measurement for the front. Okay, and this is the back, so I'm going to repeat the slash lines on the back. So once this is done, the next thing now is to go ahead and slash. Then you're going to spread to the tip like this. You don't need to spread all through. So I'll just place my scissors and then cut up to the tip. So I'll do the same thing for all the lines, and then I'm going to be spreading it. So depending on how puffy you want yours to be, you can spread, but I'm just going to be spreading just little. So this thing that you have done to the front, you will do the same thing for the back. You will see that I am just opening. I'm opening from the center to the side, and then I'm going to just spread it a little bit like this. Make sure you cut to the tip so that it can spread as well. So you can see, so you can spread this directly on your fabric, or you spread on your pattern again. But before I spread, it's looking similar, so I'm just trying to label this as my shoulder, as my center front, as my side. Okay, you can also put sleeve here, so that you can put hem here as well, so that when you spread this open, it's not going to be looking confusing to you. So you can see how I'm spreading it. So like I said, for mine, I don't want it to have seam on the shoulder area. So what I'm going to do, I'm trying to label this as well. So like I said, you can see that it's getting a bit confusing. So I'm just trying to make sure that I get it right. So this is my shoulder, this is my center back, this is the hem. Okay, so when I spread this, I'll make sure that I tape my shoulder together just like this. But you have to make sure also that your neckline and everything is aligning. So you can see, let me return it to the normal measurement, so you can see the normal measurement. So this is my neckline here. So I have to make sure that the neckline is aligning as well, and then the shoulder is aligning this way. So what you can do first, before before you cut, is to tape your shoulder together. Okay, so the main reason why I used a miniature is this, so that everything is going to show on the table. If I use a bigger body, my table is small, it may not capture everything. So you can see how I'm doing this. I'm trying to tape my shoulder together. That's because I don't want a shoulder joining. But if you don't mind having a shoulder seam on yours, then you can go ahead and cut your front and back separately. So I'm taping the shoulder like this, and this way I'll have my shoulder all together. Okay, so now you can now go ahead and slash open the back as well. Okay, so this is what the pattern looks like. So now I'm going to go ahead and spread it a little bit on my fabric. Okay, so I decided to spread this on another paper so that we can see what I'm doing very well. So this is what we have. All you need to do is to go ahead and connect your neckline like this. So if you are working with a regular life size, you can just open it by 1 inch or 0.75 inches. This is to create the gathers that we have on the neckline area. So there's really nothing much to it. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut out this new pattern that I have. Then I can now place this pattern on my fabric to cut my fabric. So this is what we have. You can see this is the hem for the front, this is the hem for the back, this is center back, the center front, this is the side for the front, side for the back, and this is the sleeve. So if you just hold it like this, remember that we did not spread up to the side and the sleeve, we only spread on the neckline area. So the side is still going to remain exactly the same. So if you fold like this, you will see this is my side. You can see that my side is the same. The center front is also going to be the same. You can see, because we did not spread there, the only spreading we did was just on the neckline. This is the shoulder area and this is your sleeve. So you are going to go ahead now and cut two of these, one for each side. So you cut two, one for left and one for right. So this is the fabric I'm working with. Make sure you work with a shaky fabric so that it can drape well. I've put my fabric on fold by 2. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut out exactly what I have here. So you just cut around your pattern. So once you are done cutting it, you can take this out. You can place a notch here to indicate this is your shoulder area so that you know where to fold when you take out your pattern. So now I'm going to separate the front and back, and this is what I have for the side. Okay, this is the side like this. You can see that the front neckline is lower, and then this is the other side. I'm going to fold it like this, and then they're going to be facing each other, so you can see what we have. The next thing is for you to go ahead and cut out your collar to join them together. So you can work with any type of neckband of your choice. You can cut a regular bishop collar that you can put buttons and button in the top at the center back. So you use your actual measurement. Remember the 5.5 inches that we measure on both front and back. So you multiply that by 2 for a full neckline, and then use that to cut out a bishop collar. But for me, I want to have a rope at the back, so I just cut a long strip of fabric which is going to serve as my rope. So before you do this, the first thing you need to do is to make sure that you hem cut this part. So when you are cutting, you can add your hemming allowance to it. I'm not going to do anything to this because nobody is wearing it. So you make sure that you hem the center, you hem the hemline as well. Just make sure that every part that is going to be showing have to be neat. So once you are done hemming it, I'm going to bring in my collar here. You can also sew the side so that it's not going to be opening up like this. You can go ahead and join the side together first before you do this. So now you can see I just got a long strip of fabric, enough for me to be able to tie it at the back. So I'm going to be notching it at the center of the band. So once I notch it, I'm going to mark 5.5 to towards the two sides like this. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure that this is as easy as possible for me. So this is my center notch here. So here from the center, remember it is on fold, so you are going to measure 5.25, whatever it is that you measured, so that by the time you open it up you have 10.5. Okay, so once you open it up, you clearly see where you have notched. This is the center and this is the back. Okay, this is the back, this is how it's going to go. So what you need to do now is to go ahead and then pleat you gather your neckline from the center like this, from the center that you notched up to this part. You gather the entire neckline into this like this, and then you do the same thing for the other side. So if you want your back to be more opened, then it means you're not going to gather up to here. You can stop around maybe 1 inch or 2 inches so that it's going to spread out the back. I don't know if you understand. So I placed a you can place a notch before you take out your pattern. You can place a notch where your front neckline stop and where your back neckline stop as well, so that it's going to guide you on so that it can guide you on where to stop gathering for the front and where to stop gathering for the back. I hope you understand that. So I'm going to go ahead and gather into the neckline. So for better understanding, you can see I have done this for one side of the top. You will see that I closed the side and then I gathered the neckline to the band that I have. So this is the other band, this is the center front and this is the center back. So this is the other band, and you can see the remaining notch that I created. This is my notch. So I'm going to be gathering the other one from the center to the notch as well. So this is the other one, you can see it. I have sewn the side, I have closed the side up so that you don't get confused. I have closed up the side and then I only have the neckline. You can see that the front neckline is lower than the back. So for easier sewing, you can go ahead to run a loose gather stitch on the neckline first, and then you gather it to that 5 inches, 5.25 inches that you want to gather to. Then you just sew it inside your band. Okay, you can see how I'm gathering it. I'm just gathering it a little bit to that. So if you don't want your chest to be so opened, okay, you can first sew the center front together up to a little bit wherever it is. Remember that we came down by 5 inches to curve, so you can decide to sew it. Another way you can do that is to make sure that you overlap this inside the band. You overlap the two fronts, so that way it's going to be closing up a little bit. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just going to be placing mine side by side. But if you don't want your chest to open, you can either sew close a bit before you join on the collar, or you just overlap the two fronts, the two center fronts, just a little bit so that they can lap on each other, and then your body is not going to show so much. So once I'm done doing this, I'm going to gather a band. I'm going to gather the sleeve into a band as well, and then I'll bring it back for us to see what it looks like. I'm done sewing it now. You can see this is the neckline and this is the sleeve. So I gathered the excess into a band. Okay, so you can actually leave yours like this, but for the hem, I don't really like how the hem is straight like this. I want it to be curvy from the center front into the side like this. I'm going to show you this on the pattern so that I can understand what I'm saying better. Okay, so let me just fold this so that you can see. Okay, remember that this is the side, this is the hem, and this is the center front. So this is what we currently have. I'm thinking I prefer my hem to be a bit curved. Okay, so remember this is the side, this is the hem. So instead of it to come straight like this, I'm just looking for a way to just make it curve into the center front like this. So this way I'm going to remove this straight part that I have here. I hope you understand what I'm trying to explain. So you can either leave it the way we did it the first time, which is this straight hem, or you can also go ahead and shape it. But I feel this new shape for the hem is better than what we have. So you can see I just curved it into the side like this. So this way, this is what the hem is going to look like. It's not going to be straight anymore. So coming to my actual dress like this, I'm going to turn it to the wrong side so that I can easily do this. So you can see what my hem looks like. You can see how straight it is. So I want to shape the two together. So what I'm going to do is to put it on fold like this, and then I'm going to place it. Make sure you arrange it well. So the same thing that I did for the paper is what I intend to do. So like I said, whichever one is what you want is fine, but I feel this just looks better. Okay, so after arranging the 4 pieces, remember we have the 2 sides of the front and the 2 sides of the back all together. I'm going to grab my scissors now and then go ahead and shape this into my center front. Okay, I think I prefer it better this way. So you can see that everything just curves into each other. So this is what it looks like now. You can see that the hem looks curvy. It does not look straight like it was earlier. So if you want yours to be straight, you just leave it as it is, but I prefer it to just curve into the side, just like I did mine like this. So if I hope you understand it. If you want it to be, if you want me to recreate it in a bigger version, let me know in the comment section. But I sincerely hope that you were able to get 1 or 2 from this one. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.